passports and partnerships, let's explore Southwest Nova Scotia to the world and more. Student voices, bright and true, a global journey just for you.
Welcome back to another episode of Passports and Partnerships, where we're sharing the stories of international students in the Tri-Counties. Emel, thank you for joining me.
I'm really happy to be here. Thanks for this podcast.
Yes. Why don't you introduce yourself and say where you're from, how long you've been here, and where you're studying?
So my name is Emel. I'm from Turkey. I've been here for 7 months, almost 8. Yep. And I'm in St. Mary's Bay Academy at Weymouth.
When you think back to your home country, are you in a big area, a smaller area?
My city is really bigger than here. Like I'm in Istanbul, so it have a really big population. Yes. My school too. Yeah. So it's different a little bit.
It's very different. So tell me, when you landed in Halifax and that experience, and then driving through to the Weymouth area, what were your first impressions?
So when I came first, it was so late, so I wasn't able to see much because it was like dark. But when I came, all of the host families was there and they were waiting with the signs, and it was so positive environment, so it was so nice. And after we had a like 3-4 hour ride, and most of the part of the ride actually I sleep because I was so tired and it was night. But most of the places was looking so same, you know.
Right.
Yeah, everything is with like the trees and like there was just the road.
Yeah, very different than the scenery in Istanbul.
I'm in big city, so we have so much buildings, not so green areas like here. So it was really nice to see that much trees. And when I got out of the car, when we arrived home, like the oxygen was like more, you know, it was so cleaner.
Feels different to breathe it in, doesn't it?
Yeah, yes, absolutely.
I hear that frequently from our students. I'm curious, how did you settle on Nova Scotia for this study experience?
So I wanted to study abroad since I know myself. I was always interested in that kind of films and like watching it. And I was like, I want to study abroad, but we were mostly thinking for the university. And when I start high school, the reason that I choose at high school was they start a program with my agency for the exchange students. So I was like, oh, I want this. I take the exams and come here.
Right.
There was so much options, but Nova Scotia was more together with the nature. And it was different for me because I was in the big city. So I wanted to experience in smaller area with more nature and seeing that. So we chose Nova Scotia with my agency.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm sure that you had some expectations or hopes for your study. How has that trip, how's the experience been to this point?
I have a really fun and beautiful experience since today. It's been really nice with my host family and in the school. It's too different. I start to get used to here and I'm actually gonna miss here a lot. The most important thing was for me like my language too. In other things, I start to see that my speaking is start to get better. I improve so much. Seeing different places, being together with the nature more. It was a good experience. My host mom showed us how to plant potatoes and like take them out and like other things. And it was really fun to have that.
Yeah, you've got an experienced host mom there. Tell me what that experience is like.
I have a really sweet host mom. I really love her. She's helping with us with our language a lot. I'm so glad for this. She is trying to show us everything that she can show. When I talk, sometimes I could make some stupid mistakes, like, you know, easy mistakes that I know, and like she's fixing that helping me to improve a lot. When we go out for a car ride, she's like, oh, this is because of that, and like she's showing us everywhere.
Right.
In my first week, I was a little bit nervous because, like, you know, we only talk once with my host sister. We only talk on Instagram. Yeah. So I was nervous, but when I meet with them, they were so nice, so sweet. She take us for a ride around the town, and like she take us for the ice cream, and after we meet with her sister and like with a nice dinner, and they were so nice to us. So I was like, oh, it's better than I expect for a first week. It started to help me for the break the ices, you know, started to help me for being more comfortable.
Right.
And we start to be close with her sister and brother-in-law.
Right.
They take us so much places too. In September, I think, they take us for a drag race.
Yes.
It was really awesome. Like,
Tommy loves drag racing, doesn't he?
yeah. I always see that kind of things in the movies or in the internet. Seeing that different kinds of cars in the 2 weeks of in my first 2 weeks, it was awesome. Like, it was really fun. Like, he shows how is he doing, and like he showed his car. It was really nice experience, especially for the first 2 weeks. We wasn't expecting. They were like, "Oh, we are going to race. You guys wanna come?" And we go.
That's a great experience to share.
Yeah.
Have you picked up on some differences between Turkish culture and Canadian culture that were surprising?
My biggest difference is the breakfast. It's so different for me. There was with the just cereals, like we went to shopping and there was like huge sections of cereal that I didn't saw before.
Right.
I was like, I want to try everything. We just eat cereal in the morning, and it was so different because like we are mostly having like a good breakfast with the olives, like the jams, the cheese, egg. So it was so different for me. And the other big difference for me at the first month was the school, because my school is not so big either, but the difference for me was the classes, because you can choose your classes and change, other than like we have less classes and less hours in the school.
Right.
In the first week, I realized that it's literally like the Canadian American movies that you see that students are changing the classes instead of the teachers.
Right.
And everybody had lockers, so it was awesome, like having a locker and like having a bottle dispensers, but like it was awesome for me because we don't have them.
Yes, that's very different, isn't it? In a lot of countries, yours included, the teachers move from class to class, whereas here the students do. So I'm assuming you must not have need for lockers.
We carry everything from the home with the public transportation or like with the buses. Most of my friends just leaving them there under their desk because we don't change classes and it's always there.
What about food? What are some of those food differences? You mentioned breakfast, but what about meals in general? Like even time of day? Like what typically, are there differences between your dinner or supper?
There's so much veggies, and especially with there's so much potato and Scotch foods. My favorite Canadian food in here is actually recipe pie.
Yes.
When Austin made it first, I was not sure because I love trying new foods, but I'm not really good with the foods too, either, like especially with the veggies. It was looking like more slimy, the recipe pie. But when I tried it, it was awesome. I really like it, like the recipe pie and like the poutine. They're really good.
When you look at recipe pie, at least my first experience, if I had to rate it out of 10 on appearance, I'd give it a 2. And the taste, I'd give it like a 20 out of 10 after I tasted it the first time because it was so good. Beyond school, what do you hope to do?
So I actually, for high school, I want to keep going to university at abroad, maybe like designing, like graphic designs or maybe architecture.
Right.
But I have other option that I was thinking that's so unrelated with the others, like history or like international business. So yeah, I want to go university to study degree, but I want to study it abroad actually. And like I'm looking for like that same time university that I will have my athletic opportunities, like to keep going to volleyball. So I'm trying to find like online websites that helping for that. So here we are trying for my parents.
Awesome. You talk around different things, like what sort of activities, groups, friends have you made in St. Mary's Bay?
We are so close with international students. We are going out, like going to cinema, to Digby, like having, like at the New Year, we were all together. We made a sleepover, and at the same time, it was my birthday, so we celebrated together. Nice. It was so nice. I made other Canadian friends from our math class, from the volleyball team in the school, and from the volleyball club. So it's been a good experience too, with talking to them and like learning that ways too.
How do you find the classes themselves? Like the variety of classes, the teachers, a similar approach, different? How does that compare?
The classes are not so big. Yep. My favorite thing to do in the class is like, especially for chemistry, because I really like it in here. And unexpectedly, I wasn't expected that my chemistry mark was so high. We are experienced in the lab. He's giving us the materials and we are doing everything by ourselves. I wasn't able to do it before. And having a group project, we learn how to dissolve the acetic bases by ourselves, like we did them. It helped me to learn better for that. In math, our teachers is so nice. She is explaining everything at the beginning, and after, like, when we have a time to solve questions, she's coming and helping us explain everything for 101 too.
Part of my other job is helping support principals and vice principals in our schools. And I remember earlier in the year, I was in your chemistry class and in a science class, and your science teacher has an amazing ability for connecting different concrete models to help that learning. He engages students in great ways.
He say for his biology class, he's taking a brain, like pig brains. He say, you guys are invited to my class, so you guys can see that too. So I was like, what's going on? Like, it's so awesome. Like, being able to see the brain in the biology class is a really good opportunity.
Absolutely, it is. What are things in the community that you have seen that are really neat outside of the churches and different things? I know your host mom has brought you all sorts of different spots. What really resonated as being unique?
I think everybody say this. Literally, the Canadian people are so nice. They're one of the nicest people, I think. For example, last week we went to Smuggle Cove.
Yes.
To show our new student. We went to show Alejandra. There was another couple that walking with their dogs, and they started to talk with us. They say, oh, you guys are NSISP too, because I was having my NSISP cap. They started to talk with us. Her husband, he gave us a little tour, and like he showed some of the other paths that we didn't go see before. So like he explained everything again for us slowly. And after we learned that he was doing 100% recycled houses from the bottle.
Oh, yes.
After he take us to his factory, then he explained everything to us, and he showed the houses that he made. And I was like, we met now, and he's showing us this. It was so educational, really awesome to have communication so easily like this. It was really nice for me, and I think that was really fun.
That's awesome. Very friendly people, and then sharing their expertise, and that's really a new technology because they're amazing homes. As we come towards the end of this podcast, I've got a couple closing questions, okay? Our podcast is likely going to be viewed by many local people in the Tri-Counties. If they were thinking of hosting, what would you think when you think of your host mom? What would you say are some of the most important things for a host parent to consider?
I think one of the good things is having to experience other cultures from the first hand. Talking with the other cultures and seeing them, it's a really nice thing. Like, I teach my host mom Turkish dishes, and we make together. So it was so nice, and they really like it too. So it was nice to know that they teach me too. So it's a good chance to learning different cultures. Having an experience like that is a big opportunity, I think.
Absolutely. It's also possible that people in other countries will be watching this podcast, right? And it could be that our partners are showing potential students and families that are thinking about studying in Canada. What would you share?
The first thing that I will say, a person that wants to come, it's a really good opportunity at the same time, and it's at the same time so hard. Being far away from your family is hard too, but it's a good opportunity to improve your English, and it's a good chance to have being able to learn different cultures and like seeing that actually we are being able to how to be alone. When we are younger, it would make it easier in the future for us when we be adult to know how to take care of our money, how to wake up early in time for the school. Like for me, my mom was always waking me up. My uncle was always waking me up. But right now I'm able to wake up alone in the morning when I need. So it's a good chances to improve your personality, your social activities, experiences in every way, actually. So I will absolutely, if you have that chance, you should try. you need to give it a chance for that.
Yeah, no question. Coming on a study like this, you develop some independence, don't you? And you grow and extend yourself.
Yeah, it's really nice to be able to have an independence like this and like knowing the hardness. It's gonna help me a lot when I start to university because I will know most of the things that will happen. So I will be prepared for that.
Absolutely. Emel, thank you very much for sharing your story. It's a remarkable story, and I'm sure it's going to resonate with everyone.
It was a pleasure to meet.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.